What's up, you guys? Nick the Hedgehog's here, and today, welcome to the part 2 of Exposing Dory by the film theorists. So, yeah, because, you've seen the last episode where the camera, has been shaded. It's because, you cannot see my face, but you can see the video. So, without any further ado, let's give it a shot.
Previously on Film Theory.
Hey, I've seen a boat.
How could Dory remember the boats, but then forget meeting Marlin? I am on to you, Ellen DeGeneres.
Keep swimming.
Finding Dory? More like exposing Dory. The truth is coming out.
Yep.
Dory doesn't suffer from short-term memory loss.
She's faking it. I know. That cool intro again.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film... Wait, what was I saying? See, if I had anterograde amnesia like Dory claims, I wouldn't remember what I'm supposed to say here. But as we talked about last time, Dory doesn't have anterograde amnesia. She's faking her condition to look weaker and have the other fish underestimate her abilities. It's a
It's because Dory's a blue
tactic.
tank.
Oh, sure. Everything seems
camera.
to check out. She can't remember Marlin's name. She forgets where she is. Can't even remember what happened to her parents. But as we found last episode, she slips up. She remembers seeing the boat that took Nemo even after she claims to forget who Marlin is. This fact of seeing the boat should fall under declarative memory, which, if she was truly suffering from short-term memory loss, she should have forgotten. You've painted yourself into a corner, Dory, and that's not the only piece of evidence I have against you. Today, we're throwing the book at Dory to show that appearances can be deceiving, and to get you to view Finding Dory in a whole new context. And
That's a
here's
sequel.
the crazy thing. To start exposing Dory's lies, we don't even need to look that deep. It all begins with the single most basic fact about Dory, the type of fish she is. Now, Finding Nemo never specifies her species, but judging by her blue body and the black design running out to her
Again,
yellow
blue
tail,
tang.
we can confidently say
Blue
that
tang.
Dory is a blue tang,
Yep.
also known as a Paracanthurus hepatus, Latin for incredibly hard to pronounce. These fish tend to be relatively small, growing up to only 12 inches when they reach adulthood, and look at that peaceful majesty.
The true facts about the blue tang, isn't it?
And yet, it's time to explore some true facts about the blue tang. That curvy blue body hides a caudal spine, which extends out
That's
with
in real life.
slashing and wounding predators. That makes Dory like the Wolverine of fish. Snicked indeed. And that's not all. If consumed by humans, blue tangs may cause poisoning, and some blue tang fish even have venomous glands in their fins. Wow, Dory is far less cute than Finding Nemo would have you believe. Behind that angelic blue body and a freckled, big-eyed face lurks a venomous monster. Say, Frank, I miss you and your True Facts series. Come back to YouTube. Come back! But okay, let's go back to the whole memory loss thing. Dory states that the source of our short-term memory loss is hereditary.
I forget things almost instantly. It runs in my family.
This may be a simple reference to the old myth of goldfish memory.
Come on, it's like
Fish are
Alice in
dumb and have
Wonderland
short memory
again.
spans, only able to recall events for about 3 seconds or so. This, though, is just not true. Not a true fact about the blue tang. Fish actually have surprisingly strong memories, lasting for up to a year. Carp that have been caught by fishermen have been seen to avoid hooks for up to a year afterwards. Researchers even discovered that they could learn to associate certain sounds with food, and then remember it 5 months later. There is ample evidence that fish are just as intelligent as mammals, capable of the same intellectual feats as rats or mice. They can learn their way around mazes, they can learn to recognize other fish, and they can remember prey from predator. Thus, we can't dismiss Dory's short-term memory loss as just being symptomatic of her being a fish. So the question remains then, can you inherit short-term memory loss from your parents? The answer here, once again, is a big no. Short-term memory loss
pony
is typically
again,
caused
really?
in one of two
Come
ways:
on.
drug and alcohol
Thank
abuse
you.
or severe brain trauma. Benzodiazepine drugs, typically used to treat panic attacks, if misused, can cause amnesia-induced side effects.
That's
Drinking
wrong.
a bunch of alcohol can cause blackouts, which blocks the brain's ability to
That is
transfer
totally
short-term
wrong.
memories into long-term memory. So if you go out on a late-night bender and can't remember what
Yeah,
happened to you the
Dory
night before,
is faking.
congratulations, you
She
just
is.
gave yourself anterograde amnesia. A winner is you. And Chronic alcoholism can lead to Korsakoff syndrome, where brain cells are unable to produce enough energy, and as a result, break down and cause permanent anterograde amnesia. So unless Dory is regularly swimming her way out of a bourbon bottle, it's not gonna do it. Although, that would be a very different movie. New from Pixar, an uplifting, family-friendly story of one fish's struggle to combat alcoholism.
That's awesome edited right there. That's an awesome edit.
In the gutter. On the other side, traumatic brain injury, typically to the hippocampus and surrounding cortices, can also cause anterograde amnesia. Or to treat a serious disorder like epilepsy or a tumor, patients will have parts of their brain removed. These procedures successfully cure the disorder, but can often result in anterograde amnesia. Notice, though, that none of these instances, brain trauma, alcohol, and drug abuse, are hereditary. In fact, there is no scientific proof that anterograde amnesia has ever been passed down genetically. None. Dory, unless she's a unicorn of biology, quite simply is lying about the cause of her amnesia, which again throws into question her having amnesia in the first place. But that sounds crazy, right? People
Joker.
faking an illness as extreme as amnesia. But here's the thing, it's not as crazy as it sounds. In fact, it's so common it even has a name. Faking amnesia would be considered a type of malingering, in which
Malinger.
you fake symptoms of an illness to achieve some goal. Getting out of work, getting taken care of, or in Dory's case, increasing your odds of survival in the dangerous ocean. So, outside of the scientific inconsistencies in her story, how do we outright prove that she's malingering? Well, it's not as hard as you might think. Most fakers tend to
Liar, liar.
color their symptoms, over-exaggerate them by putting in extra effort to make them look sick.
The key to faking out the parents is the clammy hands.
Take, for instance, the hand coin test. If I put a quarter in my right hand, you can easily tell me which hand the coin is in.
Right.
Unless, of course, you weren't paying attention, XX Pixar Lover 15. There's always
Really?
one of you. Jeez, you think I do these videos for my health or something? I'm doing this for you. Anyway, to catch you up, the coin is in my right hand.
Yes,
Amnesiacs, though,
always.
can't remember which hand the coin is in and are forced to guess, meaning that by the laws of probability, they'll guess correctly around 50% of the time. Fakers, though, will exaggerate their bad performance. They'll remember which hand the coin is in, and to look sick, will deliberately choose the wrong one. As a result, their tally of correct to
Oh,
incorrect
man.
guesses will be below
We got a dummy
chance.
over there.
They're throwing the
We
test,
got a
they're
dummy.
throwing it a bit too hard. And when it comes to short-term memory loss, there's a bunch of proven scientific tests.
Yeah, we got a
that you
dummy.
react. These tests are referred to as symptom validity tests. For example, the test of memory malingering, otherwise known as TOM, is a 50-question visual
Tom.
recognition test where examinees are shown 50 drawings, numbers, words, or symbols for around 3 seconds each. After all the drawings have been shown, the examiner then shows the examinees 2 different drawings, one from the 50 previously shown and one new one. The examinee is then asked to name which of the 2 drawings he had previously seen. By purely guessing, an amnesiac would score 50% right. And across all of these tests, it was found that suspected malingerers scored worse than actual anterograde amnesiacs. And that's not all. Malingerers tend to have a slower response time to questions. They take great pains in answering, as if they're struggling to figure out what the correct answer was. That's a tough one. True amnesiacs, however, tend not to have that much delay between question and answer. And finally, psychologists use what's known as the primacy effect to test so-called amnesiacs. This is the tendency to more easily remember items from the beginning of a list rather than the middle. So if I give you the numbers 82963555962, you're most likely to remember the number 8 because it was the first number of the bunch. Fakers show this effect. People with amnesia don't. Knowing all that, look at Dory. Dory, like most malingerers, consistently answer questions wrong, far below mere chance. Midway through Finding Nemo, a school of fish tried to give Dory directions by showing her a number of different sea creatures. However, Dory is unable to identify a single one, failing to recognize a swordfish, a lobster, and an octopus. Now, you're probably thinking, hey, MatPat, give Dory a break. Maybe she can't remember what an octopus or swordfish are called. She does have anterograde amnesia, after all. Except, Dory previously has shown that she has quite a knack for remembering different aquatic life. She easily identifies a shark,
Hey, look, shark!
a whale,
Oh, big fella, whale.
even a seagull.
Mike.
So how come right then and there, she's unable to come up with 3 very common sea creatures? Sure, maybe she can't name 1 or 2, but all 3? It's almost like she's deliberately getting them wrong, playing into her short-term memory loss, answering way below chance. And in that scene, Dory agonizes over her answers.
Wait,
Swordfish. Where's the butter?
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Much like a malingerer would,
Yep.
he exaggerates her condition, a telltale sign of a faker. You want more proof?
And a liar.
And all the times Dory gets Nemo's name wrong. She calls him Fabio, Chico, Bingo,
Chico.
Harpo, Elmo. Now the fact that Dory can't remember Nemo's name is consistent with anterograde amnesia, but look closely at all the names she calls him. They all end with an O, just like Nemo. But someone really suffering from anterograde amnesia would be just as likely to call Nemo John, or Paul, or Ringo. We have no idea, no context that his name would end with an O. The very fact that Dory chooses names that are close to Nemo, but not quite, is proof that she remembers his name and is deliberately struggling and trying to get them wrong. Dory even recalls information in accordance with the primacy effect. She memorizes the address for where Nemo is being held, P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, yet in her moving speech to Marlin at the end of the movie, she struggles to remember the complete address, only able to identify the beginning, just like a faker would.
Family Guy.
Sherman, 42.
In
She's
fact,
faking.
Throughout Finding Nemo, Dory shows inconsistent base knowledge. When she meets Bruce the shark, she's not scared at all, like she doesn't know what sharks are or that they
Sharks
eat
are
fish. Yet
vicious.
Later, after discovering a scuba mask, she correctly
bite.
identifies sharks below her.
Hey, look, shark!
Yeah, they bite.
Then one more time, by the end of the film, she tells the sharks to remember.
And
not
they're
to
mean,
eat
too.
fish.
Remember, fish are friends.
Not food. Bye.
So which way is it, Dory? Do you remember what a shark is or not? Do you remember that they eat fish or not? Because if you didn't know that they eat fish the first time you met them, then you shouldn't remember hours and days later at the end of the movie when you see them again. So which is it, Dory? Do you know whether sharks eat fish or not? Checkmate! Checkmate, you fictional computer-animated fish, you! We gotcha! So you always thought Finding Nemo was a wholesome tale about a good-hearted father finding his kidnapped son with the help of a lovable but simple-minded companion. Nope! Let me break down what's really happening here. Dory, completely alone, sees another lone fish screaming about his missing child, a kindred spirit, an easy mark. Dory uses her perceived weakness to trick predators like the shark, whale, jellyfish, anglerfish, who all just buy what Dory's selling. When Marlin attempts to get away from her, Dory immediately begins to cry, emotionally manipulating the clownfish to take her along with him. Over the course of the film, she pretends to slowly get better, linking her perceived progress with Marlin. Now, Marlin can't leave Dory out of guilt because he thinks he's the only thing keeping her together. And that is the true story of Finding Nemo, how a con artist manipulated the emotions of a grieving father into letting her into his home. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. If you like this video and want the truth, tweet this at...
Well, that was the part 2. And more Mega Man episodes are coming real soon. So, videos are always lucky. I'll keep you entertained. So, comment, link, like, and subscribe for more Nick the Hedgehog videos. And Nick the Hedgehog signing off.